We're back. Welcome, friends. I hope you're ready to fight. It's been a minute.
After a surprise week off, surprise meaning I forget what day it is sometimes. And I was like that. Oh, wait, I can't.
That's a Wednesday.
Yeah, I didn't make the connection. You know, I had a place to be on a day, but the actual day of the week, that part didn't sink in.
Understandable.
Even though it happens literally every year.
Get a little vibe check going. Did we, one, how are we? Two, did we get up to anything fun in our unexpected week off? Unexpected.
Yeah. No one could have seen it coming.
Who could have possibly foreseen this?
Yes. Not really.
Understandable. Would you like to share with the people what you were gone for?
Oh, I am in charge of the Geneseo Insomnia Film Festival, which I think I've explained on the pod before, but it's basically just students sign up in teams of up to 4 people, and they get 24 hours to write, film, and edit a 3-minute movie. And it's
very fun. I've done it myself.
Yeah, we had our film screening and awards ceremony a week ago.
And how did that go?
It was good. A little technically chaotic.
As is so often the case.
Some of the audio decided to go crazy for no reason that I could see.
Love it.
My laptop died because apparently the outlet I plugged it into did not actually have power.
Oh, fun!
I didn't know that. And so we all sat in the dark for a while I frantically tried to wave at the light people like, tech guys, like, help. Aziz, light.
Aziz, light.
See?
Now I understand.
Every time I want light, I say, Aziz, light.
Wonderful. I can't say that I got up to all that much either.
Cool.
Sometimes it's just like that, you know?
Such entertainment. By the way,
entertainment indeed.
I had almost forgotten it because it's been like 2 weeks because it was the day after we last recorded.
Yeah.
I had a particularly weird day in class.
Oh, wonderful. I love these stories.
Yeah, and I believe I told you I tried to write down as many as I could remember. But the thing is, it's now been 13 days.
Do you not remember the context for any of them?
I would like to read my note verbatim here. Okay. This is just one line on my note, just commas between all these things. Okay, so just one unhinged series of things with commas.
Got it.
Almonds. Time means nothing. 20% more out of my mind. Chris Superman. Original Batman series. Chuffed. Sarcasm. Porn. Little kids.
My oh my. Do we have context for any of that at all? I'll take even one single thing.
Oh yes, the Chris Superman was in reference to you, Chris. Because yeah. I was talking about the new Superman movie, and I mentioned what you had said about that kind of being what we need right now. That sort of and I showed them the trailer to it as well. So that I remember. I do remember the almonds because I was complaining about how busy I was. And then I told them, I was like, yeah, no, I did this and I did this. And then I ran here and I ate approximately 6 almonds. And then it became a running joke in class because for some reason this class loves to roast me.
Which class is this? Not that it matters, but share anyway.
Yeah, it's my Com 342, Mass Media and Society.
Oh, that's a class I've taken.
Yeah, I've told them they're my favorite class, but not to tell anybody, but not like any of them watch this, so.
Why don't you advertise to your students, goddammit? You have a captive audience.
Yeah, I don't want them to see me. I mean, you know.
You don't want them to see the real you?
I did point out to them, actually, on this particular day that, like, my veneer was cracking. It's like, you're starting to get glimpses of who I actually am. But then they kept, like, you know, making all kinds of jokes like, oh, if we let us out of class early, you could eat like 3 more almonds. I do remember that being a thing. And then when I got back to my office, I ate like 8 almonds and I was really tempted to send an email to the entire class.
You should have. Why didn't you?
I didn't, but I told them that I had been tempted to, and they were very upset that I didn't. And
come on, man.
Like, if you would have done that, I would have replied back to you to tell you I ate a banana. And I would have said, great, I would love to know that. I'm proud of you. Potassium is important.
This is why you need to get weirder in class. You're tenured now. It's fine.
The 20% more out of my mind is pretty self-explanatory. I'm like, you guys, I'm going to try my best, but I am approximately 20% more out of my mind today than usual. So
understandable.
That one.
We all have those days.
Time means nothing. That's been a repeated theme in this class because I can never remember when things happened or how long ago they were or, you know, anything time related. And I don't remember this particular context in which I said time means nothing to me, but I do remember they lost it for some reason.
Okay.
So
comedy queen.
I don't remember. The sarcasm one, they keep thinking that I'm saying things that are sarcastic. And I told them, like, it's not sarcastic. Like, I don't mean it to be. Sometimes it just sounds like that. Maybe it's my default setting. And so that's just the way it comes out, even when I'm being sincere.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe I was saying something along the lines of, I'm glad you guys had a great, you know, day or whatever. I'm truly pleased. Chuffed, even.
And they thought you
chuffed came in.
Gotcha. And they didn't think you meant it.
They did not. And I tried to tell them. I absolutely did. And that was the same class where we actually watched I showed them parts of the original Batman TV series from the 1960s.
Nice.
We watched part of an episode where Batman...
Shark repellent?
No. Batman and the Joker have a surfing competition.
Incredible. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And then I showed them part of a compilation of Robin saying, like, holy whatever. And most of them had never heard of this series in the first place, let alone seen it. And it was a great time. Now, that only brings us to the last 2, which is just porn and little kids. And I honestly don't... This was from a different class the same day. And I remember it was hilarious, but I don't remember the context.
Big sad.
But to be clear, in this particular class, which is my media psychology one, we were talking about like sexual content in media.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe my recollection is I said something implying children watching pornography or being in it. And then like, oh, wait, that's not what I meant, you know, like, and I thought it was really funny, but I don't remember.
A tragedy.
I also have a student who loves Ayn Rand.
I judge people who love Ayn Rand.
I had brought this, well, the reason I made a note of it is because I had brought this up on the podcast before that, like, most of my students do not know who she was. Mm-hmm. You know, I've never even heard of her. And then a student came up to me after class last week and was like, Could I write my final paper on Atlas Shrugged? I mean, sure, it's media.
That's
But
allowed.
she said she's read it. Yeah, she said she's read it several times and she just like loves. I wouldn't necessarily say loving Ayn Rand is a red flag because I enjoy reading Ayn Rand as well, not because I agree with her, but because I find her ideas interesting and her writing sort of compelling.
Fair enough. This can be a discussion question for in just a second. Are there any authors where loving them is a red flag? Unless you have anything else to say about your various class escapades, we can wrap up on that topic first.
No, just to say I love that particular class of mine. There is one girl who every time I say hi to everybody, she goes, "Hey girl," and that makes me feel so valid.
I love that for you. That's so fun.
Yeah. Plus, just a random fact. So there's only 20 students in that class, but
I love a random fact.
There is not a single only child in that entire classroom.
Huh.
Statistically, quite improbable.
Odd.
Yeah. We were talking about it several weeks ago, and I was asking them, like, who's like the oldest, the youngest, the middle, only child, and nobody raised their hand. And they made a big thing about it, like we were a gang and we were going to go and hunt down the only childs on campus. It was a whole thing.
That's I mean, I'm a member of that gang, so
yeah,
fine by me.
It's an unhinged class.
I love that. And again, this is why you need to appoint another me.
Yeah, I have told them that we have just like the combination of all of us in the same room shouldn't happen because we just get really distracted. We did a whole thing where we just stared at a guy as a classroom out the window last week.
Fun. I wonder if he felt the eyes on him.
I don't think he didn't look up. We were on the second floor, but it was cute because he was just sitting under, as an old guy, he's just sitting under a tree and eating a snack and, reading a physical newspaper. And they were fascinated by that. And so we just kind of
I don't know if this is just because I have old parents, but the concept of being fascinated by a physical newspaper is wild to me because we got a newspaper every fucking day.
Well, no, but it's a guy sitting on campus under a tree. Like it's this nice, like little pleasant, idyllic scene. He carried his newspaper outside with his little snacks.
Aw, that's kind of nice.
It was just very nice and pleasant. Yeah. And so we were all like, as a class, watching him, trying to like imagine, like, oh, I wonder if he, works here or whatever. And then one of the students was like, he teaches a class that I'm in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't even remember what department he was in, but yeah. Weird things happen in that class for some reason.
You want to know something that's always pissed me off about this? Just randomly came to mind because I was thinking of who might teach a class and be an old man who reads a newspaper. And I was like, I wonder if it's some crazy old, like kooky old philosophy professor. And you know what always pissed me off when I was at Geneseo? That the Geneseo philosophy department had their own sweatshirts, but communication never did.
Because people won't buy them.
People are bitches.
That's the thing. You either have to like shell out hundreds of dollars for something that people won't buy, or you have to have people order it in advance, and they're usually not willing to do that.
I never liked that.
I still have boxes of t-shirts in my office from 2017.
If you have any really big ones, I'll wear them as sleep shirts.
I mean, we have a ton of them, but we're still attempting to sell them, but now we're also just giving them away for things.
But
did you see this percentage that Chris put in there?
No, but I'm pulling that up for everybody right now while I take a look at it.
So can't determine the exact probability without knowing the population distribution of only children. So the probability of an only child is about 15%. The chances that none of the 20 people are only children would be like 6%.
Whack. Well, we did a little bit of statistics there.
Yeah, but I knew it seemed very odd. But
it always pissed me off. The philosophy department had sweatshirts.
Yes.
I think it was in my office. I just did not like it.
Oh, okay.
I would still rock a comm department sweatshirt.
I made some for my interns last year
That is
because
baller.
they wanted them. They were hot pink with glitter
Nice.
because that's what they wanted.
Would we like to move on to that question that we came up with, which is which authors, if somebody loves them, which is a red flag? In this day and age, I'm going to say J.K. Rowling right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
if you
that
still
was the
love
first
J.K.
thought.
Rowling, get out of here. Red flag.
But are we making a distinction between loving her versus loving her books?
Here's my hot take. As a person who loved Harry Potter more than anything, if she hasn't ruined it for you by now with how abhorrent she is,
Yeah.
you are either not paying attention or you are not a good person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe that's harsh, but like...
Yeah, I think a lot of people just don't pay that much attention to those things because, like, I have encountered a number of people that when I make sort of like allusions to her being a garbage person, they're like, what are you talking about? They don't even know.
Interesting. I guess it does
not everybody's
require...
chronically online.
It does require a certain level of being online, but I don't know. To a degree, I'm going to say my hot take still stands.
Well, let's say if you are aware of it.
If you are aware and you still love J.K. Rowling, get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fair.
So there's that.
See, aside from her, like, usually where my mind will automatically jump is like philosophers, essentially. But that's not... I don't think that that's a good way to look at it, though, because, like, I have the Communist Manifesto on my bookshelf here.
Okay, well, the Communist Manifesto isn't a red flag. Well, I mean, it is a big red flag, but I'll see myself out. No, I don't think the Communist Manifesto is a red flag at all. I feel like
I would consider Ayn Rand a philosopher.
Sure.
She had philosophies.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you have that one.
Oh, what's his face? Hold on.
Holding.
Why am I blanking on his name?
I don't know. It's a very good question.
I love that my phone autofills things.
Oh, you know who's a red flag? Danielle Steele.
Interesting. Is there something wrong with her?
Just cheap, trashy romance novels.
Oh.
I don't fuck with it.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Hello.
Hi, friend.
Giannis Alphabet Lore? Yes.
I can read. Who is your potential author red flag?
I don't know why this took me a second. Niccolo Machiavelli.
Yeah. If you have a bunch of if you have Machiavelli's collected works, I'm concerned.
Like Machiavellianism is one of the three personality characteristics that are part of the dark triad in psychology research. Like,
so that's definitely a red flag.
Yeah, as I said, philosophers. That's where my brain goes.
Like looking at my own bookshelf to see, because like I probably have a couple like red flag-ish books.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Hold on a second here.
Yeah, I know that there are people on occasion that...
Oh, this is going to be me red flagging myself. If you have a bunch of Frank Herbert's books, that's a fucking red flag.
How is that a red flag? Just because you're a nerd?
Yeah, like, if you have all of them, if you have, like, all of the Dune books...
and
I'm including myself in that.
Yeah, no, I have so much worse than that in terms of nerd books in my home.
I say this with nothing but love in my heart. I fucking hate Dune.
Yeah, I have talked that way about the Ender's Game and Ender's Shadow series, which are very Dune-like in the pages and pages of philosophy that they veiled as narrative.
I mean, I love Dune.
Mm-hmm.
But Christ, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, no. the just incredibly long sci-fi book series that I have are.
Yep. And the thing about Dune is that it starts out as like closer to a standard sci-fi novel with some philosophy, but then as it goes on, it just becomes more thinly veiled philosophy lessons and the author's poorly disguised kinks.
That is exactly what Ender's Game is. It's funny because the first book they did
Why
make
do
into
I
a
know
movie.
that Frank Herbert had a fucking breeding kink? This is why I say that I hate Dune.
Yeah, no, but the Ender's Game book they made into like a big like blockbuster movie, but they couldn't have made anything beyond that because there's nothing happening. It's all philosophy.
Yeah.
And there's like so
yeah, I
many
know,
more
and like I
books.
know that they're adapting like Dune Messiah, and I'm like, you're gonna get to a point where you just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any other red flag authors though. Oh, I'm gonna say in this day and age, Neil Gaiman. There's a big fat red flag.
Oh yeah? I don't
Oh
know anything
yeah.
about him as a person so much.
Allegations to the point where he's going to be known for the career as a writer second.
Oh, cool.
It's
cool,
really bad. It's like horrendous.
Great. Fantastic. Love
And
it.
I'm outing myself as a red flag because I have a bunch of Neil Gaiman books, but that's prior to this going public.
I know. Don't you have the one copy where you took a whole bunch of notes in it, or did I imagine that?
Yeah, I do. This one kind of hurt, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, yeah, so if you still consider Neil Gaiman one of your favorite authors, look inwards.
Yeah. To be honest, there's nothing wrong. Well, I don't know that much about him as a person, but just a personal for me. Ernest Hemingway. I've had a vendetta against his writing since I was in like middle school. And so if somebody,
Explain.
oh, Hemingway's my favorite author, I'd be like,
why do you not like Hemingway?
He is like the most boring writer who ever lived that people hold up as this like incredible novelist. And it's like, I got like 30 pages into The Sun Also Rises and I questioned why I ever learned to read in the first place.
Oh, you know who I'm gonna say is a red flag if you have multiple books by this author? Fucking Herman Melville. You are the most boring fuck that ever lived.
I think I just have the one. I can't say for sure until it's over there.
If you have multiple books by Herman Melville and you have enjoyed reading them and you didn't just read them so that, like, you could say you read Moby Dick.
Yeah, I can't quite
what
see
are you
them
doing? Oh, we got another hater. We have got another hater in chat, folks. So yeah, Herman Melville, big red flag.
Is it a red flag that I have, I don't know how many Chuck Palahniuk books?
I don't know enough about him to say.
But I just mean his writing. He's the guy who wrote Fight Club.
Oh, boy.
Like,
maybe
if you've never read one of his books, he's a lot. Like, it's a lot. And I think there's maybe something wrong with you if you like his books.
I think I'm safe because I only have one book by Bret Easton Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
But multiple, I think I start to have questions. American Psycho is the most disgusting book I've ever read. And like I say that, like I enjoy like it was a good book. It was incredibly compelling and well written, but like there were points where I had to like stop and put the book down because I started getting lightheaded. So, if anyone out there is considering reading American Psycho, I'm going to say do it, but holy shit, prepare yourself.
No, Chris is just like, oh, I like this book. I like this book.
I don't know if I can think of any other red flag authors off the top of my head, though.
Yeah, because a lot of times I just don't know much about the personal lives.
It's not necessarily it's not always a personal life thing. Like again, Herman Melville, you're just boring.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's my thing against Ernest Hemingway. I just don't understand.
Do we think having a shit ton of Stephen King books is a red flag? Because that might be one of my red flags. If it is.
I don't think so, because so dude puts out an insane number of books.
He puts out an insane number of books, and
it's impossible.
And I'm very comfortable, like, and I say this as a person who loves Stephen King, I am very comfortable saying that not all of them are bangers.
Oh, absolutely not. But that's the thing, like, there's clearly something enjoyable about his writing.
Mm.
Like, there was a point in my life where I had read every book he'd ever written.
Impressive.
But that was years ago. I moved on to what my brother's best friend referred to as pretentious fiction.
Cute.
Yeah. So that's what a lot of my reading was. But I feel like the number of Jasper Fforde books that I have might be, for anybody who is not a nerd and is not a fan of puns, if you were to read one of his books, it's just
Noted.
He has a series of books called The Eyre Affair, as in Jane Eyre.
Mm-hmm.
And there is the main character who is a literary detective who goes into books and investigates when the story in the books change. And so, like, Jane Eyre goes missing, and so she goes into the books.
Oh,
but it is just lousy with puns and like so many different kinds of wordplay that it's like it would make a person just cringe, but I love it so much.
I hated Jane Eyre so much. I hate that fucking book. That's who the fuck is it? Why is the name escaping me?
It's oh my god, it's one of the
Emily
sisters.
Bronte?
I have it right there. Where is it?
It's Emily Bronte, right?
Why do I have more than one copy of... Oh, never mind. Of Sense and Sensibility. One of them is Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters.
Fun. It's Emily Bronte, right?
I was about to say Charlotte Bronte.
I don't think liking Charlotte Bronte is necessarily a red flag, but if you enjoyed Jane Eyre, go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stop scratching my couch, you little demon.
Absolutely a demon.
Would we like to move on? Because I don't think I can think of any more.
Yeah, I can't really either.
Okay, so the next question I have is something that I never saw the original tweet for this, which is why I don't have it linked or anything. I've just seen this discussion swirling on the Bird app. Mm-hmm. And the question is, who do we think would win in a fight? 100 men versus one gorilla.
When I saw this question earlier, I felt so immensely grateful that you have now seen the movie Congo.
I have. because I think the answer is one gorilla.
If it is if it is a silverback gorilla,
oh, you're fucked.
Those humans do not stand a chance. And I'm not even talking to like...
You think 100 dudes could take one gorilla? No fucking way.
You've seen Congo. Granted, those weren't normal gorillas.
This is very true.
What are you doing
like,
back there? I don't trust you.
Silverback gorillas could crush a dude with just one swipe.
Yeah,
like, they just have to flail their arms
that head
around
like a grape.
Their bones will turn into powder.
Yeah, no, I do not think 100 men. And here's the thing, maybe it'd be a good fight, but in the end, I think the gorilla would prevail.
You know what's funny? Because I feel like I'm taking the opposite of what I normally would. Because when we talked about the one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses, like nearly everybody was like, oh yeah, no, the horse-sized duck, absolutely. And I'm like, no, the 100 duck-sized horses would overwhelm. They would swarm. So I think it's a similar sort of thing, but yet I'm going in the opposite direction.
I don't think a silverback, a male silverback could be swarmed. I just don't think it's going to happen.
And we're assuming the humans don't have weapons, right?
No, no weapons, bare hands only.
Yeah, I don't.
Look at this boy. He's
Uh-huh.
enjoying window time. Anyway,
Yeah, but they can't really swarm the gorilla because there's only so many people that can get close to the gorilla at a time,
hmm
right? The gorilla's only so big, unless they're gonna like dogpile on him or something. But
I mean, they could try.
but let's say there can maybe be like 4 dudes getting close to him at once. He can just all 4 of them, and then the next 4. So it's not like when you have like 100 small things that can all get at the one thing at the same time.
I get what you're
Because
saying.
the size difference isn't that great. So you can't have that many of them ganging up on him at once because only so much gorilla to go around.
This is very fair. Yeah, I think the single gorilla would smoke 100 dudes.
Yeah, and maybe that's just because I find silverback gorillas to be one of the most terrifying creatures that exists on this planet.
They are one of the most terrifying creatures that exist on this planet, but also I love like videos from zoos where they're like doing like very small precision tasks like so gently.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
amazes me. Like there's one video where they're like it's like a father and son gorilla and they're just chilling looking at a little caterpillar and like they look so like they're just and one of them literally has his face like this. They look so human sometimes when they do things. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, gorillas are fucking terrifying.
Yeah, no. Silverback gorillas, hippos, hyenas.
Hyenas?
Yes, hyenas.
Do you know something I don't?
Do you not know basic facts about hyenas?
I mean, I know they're scavengers, so they'd be eating dead shit.
Not just dead shit. They will
Yeah, they're carnivores.
Yeah, they will tear you limb from limb. They are fast and they are vicious. Their jaws can crush steel, says Chris.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yeah, no, they are absolutely horrifying. And then they make that sound while they murder things.
Oh, cute.
The, like laughing sound. And it's just, have you ever watched a video of a hyena making that horrific sound while attacking something?
I can't say that I have.
It's the stuff of nightmares.
Noted.
They scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this. I'm pretty firm in my stance.
Yeah. And I can't say that my opinion on this isn't largely informed by Congo, but
Ooh, some hyena facts.
They have a bite force of around 1100 psi. This strong bite force allows them to easily crush bones and digest even the hardest parts of their prey.
Scary, but badass.
Yeah, no, they're terrifying. Absolutely.
Okay. The next question is something that you shared with the class being me, on Instagram. And I believe we have a screenshot of this because this is such an important question, and I'm so glad you brought it up. This is from the Instagram account. Oh, do you want to share what Instagram account it's from?
Yeah, no, I want to promote this account.
Yes, so follow this. And also, speaking of promotions, shirt that I'm wearing. Everybody check out Divine Grave for some awesome fucking metal. Now, your turn.
The Instagram account Only Geeses is
Instead
one
of
the
only
things
fans.
Yeah. It brings me so much joy because it's just like they're just like obsessed with geese, and a lot of it is just about loving geese or harming people who don't love geese or just completely unhinged things. I sent you a sampling earlier.
You did send me a sampling and it was absolutely lovely. But the question posed by the Only Geese's account is how would I'm going to expand this to not just geese necessarily, a goose, a swan, a duck. How would they go about hitting a bong? Would they put the whole beak into the mouthpiece? Or would they try to go around?
So, that second picture of the beak going around the bong just
the way
absolutely
they drew it, by
murders
the
me.
way. It's fantastic. For anybody who's listening to this audio only, we will have the image linked in the description so you can see what we're talking about.
But how are
But,
they supposed to grab the thingy with the wingy?
Are you talking about the slide?
I just really wanted to rhyme.
I think
You're leaving that part
someone
out.
might have to help them.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
But you know, when you're sitting in your hippie circle, you've got a bunch of friends. So
That's true.
yeah,
I
how
think
do
it's
we
gotta
think
be
a
the first
goose
one.
would hit a bong?
I think it has to be the first one.
I feel as though it has to be the first one as well because they're not gonna. You need a seal. So like they need to be
Yes.
able to shove their whole face into the mouthpiece, the tube, and block it up so that they
Yeah.
could actually like draw.
Yeah, and the second one they've like unhinged their jaw, basically. They're
Yeah,
like a
I don't
pelican.
think they could get their little beak around it. I mean, maybe if it was a really small bong.
Maybe. By the way, that's another terrifying animal. Pelicans are actually scary as shit too.
Oh, you ever seen those fucking things yawn?
Uh,
Horrifying.
yeah, don't like it.
Um,
But yeah, I think it has to be because you're not going to get as much because the beak's not going to open very far, but at least like you're not like losing a whole bunch. You could just do like a longer hit and not
okay,
be
a point
wasteful.
has been brought up here. If they could get the whole piece in their mouth, our producer thinks it would be the second one, the second option in the photo, because it's easier to get a seal on the mouthpiece. Okay, but I'm imagining. Here's the thing: I'm imagining a regular goose and a normal sized bong here.
Yes. Yeah, and the problem is they don't have lips.
They don't have lips. Isn't it a thing that like if they had like the brain power to do so, cats couldn't use a straw because they couldn't get a seal?
That seems
like-
right.
90% sure that's true. So in that
Yeah.
case, would a cat be able to hit a bong? I do think so.
But yeah, but I think but they could maybe do it the second way with the mouth around though, because they don't have like this long slender beak that's going to have these bigger openings on the side.
This is very true. I feel like if a dog were to hit a bong, it would definitely be the second way.
Oh yeah, and I'm imagining a golden retriever that just puts everything in its mouth.
Exactly. Yeah,
didn't
geese
we
having
have-
little teeth is weird.
Geese are. I'm legitimately afraid of geese.
Geese are okay. There are so many fucking geese at my job because especially like now that it's the sort of spring/summer navigation season on the canals, or it's about to be. Most of my job is outside, and there are a lot of geese that hang around the locks, and sometimes they sit on like the pathway that I have to walk when I'm locking boats. And sometimes they hiss at me when I get too close, and every day I fear that it will be the day one of them finally does choose violence.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like all these other animals we've been talking about. Well, largely that I've been talking about. That I
Wait. I'm sorry. Our producer has just informed us that he got bit by a goose at a petting zoo as a child. Fascinating.
I bet it hurt.
I can imagine it did.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing. Like all these other animals we've talked about, like they're not ones we've really encountered personally.
But you encounter geese often.
Geese.
You know what? Untitled Goose Game is the way that it is because geese are like that, TM.
They are. Like when
It's a lovely
the
morning
number
in
of
the
times-
village, and you are a horrible
You're a
goose.
Horrible goose. Yeah, no, the number of times I have been out running and been chased by geese or had to like turn around and go the other way or cross the street, like, you know, I was going to make a terrible joke. I'm not going to do it now.
Well, now you have to.
No,
You can't
I'll let
just
you
say
fill
that
it
and
in.
not share with the class.
I'll let you fill it in for yourself because I was going to make a joke about crossing the street when you see somebody.
Mm. Gotcha.
It involves racism, but yeah, like they are super scary. But that reminded me of one of the Only Geese's memes that I sent you earlier. The inside you are two geese. They are both silly. One hisses at passersby, the other is eating grass and getting in the way.
That's pretty much all they do.
Yeah. It's a fantastic meme.
But if a goose were to hit a bong, I think it would be the first option.
Yeah, I think
Unless it was
any
a little
creature,
tiny goose-sized bong that they could fit their little beaks over.
I still think their beaks are too. Now I gotta look at a goose beak, but I feel like their beaks are too slender that they're always going to be, unless you get one that's like really long but wide enough for the widest part. No. Yeah, I don't know. That's tricky. Yeah.
I mean, I'll come
I'm looking
clean
at
and
goose
say
beaks.
that I have some glassware, which is what I'm picturing in my head right now when I'm imagining this. And yeah, there's no way a goose could get their beak around that.
Yeah, I think what has to happen is it has to be much wider so they can get the full beak, like all the way to the back of their beak.
I like it.
Yeah,
Oh, and then you
basically
can inhale
anything-
through nose and mouth at the same time. Fuck yeah.
Anything that doesn't have lips is going to have a hard time.
I think that's a solid conclusion to draw from this entire discussion.
And that was a topic once that we discussed, whether cats had lips.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure
Which
the
I
straw
believe-
thing came up at that point as well.
Did it? I don't remember that bit, but
But speaking of animals and how one might go about and how they might go about doing things, the next question I have: how would you arrest a snake?
so first, you go to clown college and you learn how to make balloon animals.
Not the answer I was anticipating, but an answer I like.
I don't know why that was the first thing that came to mind.
I feel as though,
They can't be contained,
I mean,
except in a container, but
except in a container.
hey, Bits.
Hey, Boots, what's up? We're talking about how one might go about arresting a snake. I think if you wanted to cuff a snake, they would have to be like folded in half almost, and then you would cuff it in two places.
But they'll slither right through it.
That's the real bitch of it, is they're very squishy little animals. They can
Yes.
get in and out of places quite easily.
I mean, technically, snakes do get arrested when they pull them out of places they're not supposed to be for trespassing.
This is true.
And so, yeah, snake hook. They usually put them in a bag. Now I'm thinking about that video that Chris shared that one time of the guy and the snake, the giant snake, and he's like in the
Oh my
loft
god.
area.
I have to go back
And
and,
you put
find
it
that
in a
link
bag.
in chat again, because
Yes,
that
one was
video
human.
is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Wait, they show you how to arrest a snake?
Fascinating.
bad
Please
guys?
say more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
you would have to either fold them in half and cuff them that way, or like if you put the cuffs around the thickest part of their body, and then you could pick them up by the chain like a briefcase.
I still think they'd wriggle out.
They probably would still get out though.
The thing is, like, they're just, even if you put it at the thickest part of their body, it gets thinner along the way. The only way to
Yeah.
keep it cuffed is if you had a thick part with a thinner part in between,
Mm,
like to the next thick part. That way they
Yeah.
can't. And that's just not a thing with snakes.
you make an excellent point. It is simply not. So I actually don't know if I have a final answer for this one. I don't know how you would arrest a snake.
You only if you put it in a container. That's the only way you can. You can't cuff it.
You got to throw it
possible.
in the paddy wagon.
Yep, put it in a little bag, put it in a little critter carrier. That's how I arrest my snakes while I clean their enclosures.
There you go. Oh, that's a fun thing that you can actually, whenever I clean Ellie's tank and I put her in her, because she's the size that she is, her carrier is literally an old cat carrier that Oliver is too big for. It was one when he was like still a kitten and I brought him home. That's hers now. And I do refer to it as baby jail. So
Yep.
that is essentially
They
her
go
getting
to
arrested
prison.
when I go in there to clean her tank.
That'll eventually be Ripley. She'll be as big as Elphaba someday.
Oh no shit! Cool.
She's just a tiny lady right now, of course, but
Tiny baby.
she'll be
All right.
a year old in June.
Aw. Let's see. Do we want to get into the worsening? Because we have 2 weeks worth of it.
That's true. Yeah, and we've been going for a
We
while.
can go for a hot minute. Chris, if you'll begin the meditation.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
Listen, cue ball, you're only making it worse.
Thanks, that even makes it worse.
It's worse than you know.
It usually is.
I think that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
That's the worst goodbye I've ever heard. And you stole it from a movie.
How marvelous.
What have you got for me, bestie? How are you worse this week?
Well, of course, we have Saratoga Comic-Con coming up this
We have
weekend.
Saratoga Comic-Con coming up, and I am so fucking excited.
So I've been like super nerding out with, 3D printing things and making things, and got new price signs and everything. I printed you a jewelry stand that I have right here, actually. Oh no! I put the bracelets you made for me on there to kind of test it out.
There
Look
we
at that, they don't
go.
fall off. Yeah,
I love it.
lovely. These are your price signs, your little
Nice.
they're sitting on there. And I've been going crazy with label maker and hot glue gun and all these things.
Always a fun time.
Just preparing various items, but
Pops
getting
in the
real
chat for
nerdy.
any interested parties.
Yes. So I would say there's a lot of worsening in all these things that I have been doing to prepare.
I would say that I am the level of excitement I have to be cosplaying Vessel again is definitely making me worse. I'm just so excited because I've worked so fucking hard on that cosplay. I'm so excited to break it out again, man. I'm so pumped. But what else have you
Nice.
got?
I would say a lot of the usual stuff. I haven't had as much time as I'd liked, but I continue to play Skyrim. Very jazzed. I have a pet now.
Ooh, fun. Which one?
Demented Electronymph.
Ooh, you're playing the DLCs now.
Maybe.
That was not part of the original game, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I rescued it from some people that had captured it, and I was like, hey, you want to be my pet? And it was like, sure. And now it
There
can
you
go on
go.
adventures with me. But I sent it to one of my houses. And so now when I go home, he's just walking around this giant ass glowing spider thing.
Cute.
It's fantastic. It's great. Love him.
Gotta love Skyrim.
So yeah, a lot of that. I'm making good progress on One Piece. I'm more than halfway through now.
Wow. That
Out
is
of
an
1,100 some
undertaking.
episodes. Yeah. So feeling pretty good about that.
As you should.
And then I would say the other thing is I signed up for 3 5Ks today.
Wow.
Running season is here.
That's
And
a
can I
lot.
really run yet? Not so much.
It's the thought
But-
that counts.
Yeah, I mean, they're just 5Ks. You can walk a 5K.
This is very true. I have done that.
Yeah, so I said, but signing up for 3 in one day. Well, the reason is it's the last day of the month. And a lot of the registration prices go up tomorrow.
Oh.
But I was like, oh, I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do this one.
I love that for you.
Yeah, so it's that time of year again.
Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would say my Five Below obsession continues as well, because I'm gonna keep going to a bunch of Five Belows. This is my tiny werewolf, American
I
werewolf
love
in
it.
London werewolf. Just cut to me standing in Five Below for an hour trying to look inside these little capsules to tell what's in them. People looking at me funny. I don't care what you think of me.
Whatever, man.
I want this stupid little glowing alien guy from They Live.
Very cute.
Yeah, I'd say those are the primary ones.
I like it.
How about you?
Well, Girl, the album.
Oh, right.
New
Yeah, it's
Ghost
only
album
been 5
came out
days.
on April 25th, and I've already listened to it double-digit times, baby. It's so fucking good. It is probably their best album yet. I'm so excited. Still. I got my vinyl of it already. Oh, it's amazing. So fucking good. So that's definitely making me worse because I cannot stop listening to it. There is fucking crack in this album.
Nice.
There's a huge way that I'm worse. Another way, I'm hitting my stride with New Vegas.
Oh, good.
I'm getting real into it now. I'm not like, right at the beginning of a game where just anything and everything can kill you, can like one hit kill you.
Yep.
Not at that point anymore, and it feels so good.
Nice.
So the amount that I am playing New Vegas and the amount that I'm going to be playing New Vegas as I continue to get better, exponential.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's definitely worse. As I said, my cosplay excitement is making me so much worse. I did some upgrades for my vessel armor. I made a much better, much more secure strap for my pauldron is the name for the shoulder piece. So I did some upgrades to that, and I'm very excited to break it out. I'm planning on doing some fucking karaoke at Saratoga Comic-Con as Vessel. So whoever's going to be there, come check that out. I can't sing all that well, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Sure.
You will hear me whether you want to or not. So that's definitely making me worse. And this was technically part of my last worsening, but I'm going to say again, Girl the Tour.
Yeah.
Because we just keep getting updates, and that keeps making me more excited.
Mm-hmm.
My ritual isn't until July.
I was gonna say, even though you have months till you actually get to experience it.
Yep. But those are definitely the most prominent ways that I'm worse.
So, one of my favorite bands, Los Campesinos, they're based in Wales. They recently announced that they're doing a few tour dates in the US this summer. But they said that their visas are expiring and they don't plan to renew them because of, bullshit.
Everything.
And so they don't know when they'll be back. The problem is they're not going to be very close to here at all. And even the ones that are slightly closer are when I'm going to be at Niagara Falls Comic-Con already. But they're going to be in Chicago that Thursday night before Niagara Falls Comic-Con starts. And there's this insane part of me that's like, what if I flew out there, went to the show, either took a red eye back home or took an early morning flight, and then just basically got in the car to go to Canada?
I mean, you could. No one is going to stop you. That's kind of the magic of being an adult.
Yeah, it's kind of possible, but
and as a person who was considering adding a third ritual to a single month, I'm gonna tell you to do it.
Well, but that would essentially mean spending $500 on hotel and airfare for a concert that costs $40 to go to.
Sometimes it just be like that.
But I love them that much, and who knows when I get to see them again. I've already seen them 5 times, but
listen.
But what if they don't come back for years?
Exactly.
And plus, it's at the Metro in Chicago. I haven't been there since 2007, and the last band I saw there was the Lawrence Arms, which is my other favorite band.
I love that for you.
And it's
I'm going to encourage you to make stupid decisions because of who I am as a person.
Yeah, it seems a little unhinged financially, and also just
generally
for my health. Oh yeah, let's just not sleep and immediately go to Canada for 3 days and
whatever.
So I'm gonna see Warwick Davis come hell or high water.
I love that for you.
So yeah, that's pretty insane of me, but I'm still thinking about it. It's a month from now. Nice. But I did want to mention the other thing that I have become obsessed with Gumbus.
I fucking love that cat, man.
And here's the thing, it's not like I just learned about Gumbus. I was aware of her.
She's wonderful.
I came across the Gumbus video on Instagram and was like, God, I love this cat. And so then I just started binge watching all these Gumbus videos and like sharing them with people and showing them to people.
Love Gumbus.
And some of them, their reaction was like, oh, that, like, ew, like that's an ugly cat. And it's like,
fuck you.
how dare you? She is beautiful. Does she have eyes the size of marbles that jut out of her face and a cleft palate
Yes.
and no teeth? Yes.
That's part of her charm.
That's what's so great about her. And she wears her little outfits.
Oh,
Freaking love
love
that
her.
cat.
Oh, small way that I'm worse. Do we rock with the literal Home Depot chain as necklace?
Ah, that's what that is.
Yeah. They were cutting chain at work to like string up to like actually block off sections of the like around the lock where people aren't supposed to go. And I was like, haha, can you guys make me a necklace? And the guy with the clippers was just like, sure. So now this is a thing that I have and wear.
Sure.
I think that's the last way that I'm worse though.
Yeah, it's hard to say. There's probably more, but because it's been a couple weeks, things just pile up.
That's about 2 weeks worth of worsening though, wouldn't you say?
Sure.
All right. Stream tomorrow.
Yep.
We're gonna be talking about that's our penultimate Vinland Saga stream. Wow. That went by
Yeah.
in a flash. So
Sure
we're gonna be
did.
talking about more episodes from season 2. Defend Friday? Yes, no. No defend on Friday. Okay, so no defenestration hour Friday, and then Saturday we are hopefully, fingers crossed, going to have an episode of Drunken Disorderly from our hotel suite after Saratoga Comic-Con. But if you are in the area, get your ass to the Saratoga City Center and come see us. We are going to be having a total blast. We are going to have Funko Pops for sale at our table. We're going to have loaf cats made by Brooks and some other fun crocheted goodies, some 3D printed little trinkets for you. I will be making custom candy jewelry, K-A-N-D-I, not C-A-N-D-Y. There we go. Priceless right there. I will have some pre-made stuff and I will have all my beads to make custom things if you don't see anything that you like. So come check that out. We are going to be hosting not us personally, but the Big Dumb Monsters are going to be hosting a trivia panel, our after hours 18 plus trivia panel. And then on Sunday, we are teaming up with Assad again to host Battle of the Movies, which is going to be a fun time.
Also, the bookmarks.
Oh, yeah, she started making bookmarks and they're fucking hilarious. So come get them.
I designed and 3D printed a holder for them.
I love that.
Which I'm real proud of. It turned out exactly the way I wanted it to. It's over on the craft table back there, so you can't see it at the moment.
Wonderful.
But, like multiple tiers kind of thing.
Nice.
Still working on a good way to attach the worms on a string to them.
Understandable.
Because the worm itself is so much longer than the actual bookmark. I did attach one and then grabbed a book off my shelf to test it out, put it in there, closed the book, and then fell over laughing at how ridiculous it was that there was just a worm on a string hanging out of the book.
Incredible.
Simple length. I did find out the hard way you can't actually cut them. They will just fall to pieces.
Ah, big sad.
We RIP to the one worm on a string that died to learn this information.
Oh, this has nothing to do with anything, but I think it should be put out to the world. My group chat, one of my ghost group chats today had some questions for you, bestie. Have you found the Fountain of Youth? Because I informed some of my friends of your approximate age, and they were flabbergasted. So, the girlies want you to drop the skincare routine, bestie.
There isn't one. I use moisturizer. That's it.
You heard it here, folks.
You know what? Sunscreen every day. Got to protect the skin from the sun.
Yeah, baby. Very important.
Moisturizer and sunscreen. That's it.
There you go. You heard it here.
I put in zero effort. I don't care about aging.
You love to see it. All right. So stream tomorrow, hopefully Drunk and Disorderly on Saturday, and then bringing it back around. We will get dates for Regrettable Reviews for our Reanimator month. We will get those dates to you soon. We're still figuring things out with Arthur's fun little scheduling conflicts, but we'll get that handled. And I think that's just about everything, unless you can think of anything else.
No.
All right. As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we'll be back again next week for more chaos, as always. Adios, everybody.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brooks. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Catch us live on Twitch every Wednesday and Thursday. You can subscribe to our Twitch channels to watch our live broadcasts without ads, or donate to our Patreon for ad-free access to our entire library of past episodes and streams, as well as fun bonus content. Fighting with Friends is a member of the Big Dumb Monsters Podcast Network. Check out the links in the description for more episodes from us and from all of the shows on the network. Thanks for listening.